everybody. Captain Marty here, and we have a really full fishing report for you today. A lot of stuff going on for August fishing. This is really good fishing, offshore, near shore, along the beach, and back in the Sound. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to bring you all up to date in just a moment. I'll be right back.
Make your next Outer Banks getaway a stay at Seahorse Inn and Cottages in Nags Head. Conveniently located across from Jeanette's Pier, it's a favorite home base for surfers, anglers, and beach lovers alike. Choose from recently updated guest rooms or spacious cottages, perfect for couples, families, and extended stays. Bringing your four-legged friend? Seahorse Inn is pet-friendly, so the whole family can join the adventure. Whether you're chasing the perfect wave, reeling in the catch of the day, or simply soaking up the beach vibes, Seahorse Inn offers comfort, convenience, and classic OBX charm. Visit us online at visitobx.com.
Surrounded by water, Currituck and the people of the Outer Banks have been shaped and defined by its rich and coastal maritime history. The Currituck Maritime Museum tells the story of Currituck's boat-building forefathers, their remarkable craft, and the legacy they left behind on how to live life and thrive on the waters of the Outer Banks. Discover the Maritime Museum in historic Corolla Park, across the street from the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, and visit us online at currituckmaritimemuseum.com. Be a part of the local history at the Currituck Maritime Museum.
So if you're a regular, you know the path we take around this fishing report. We start in Hatteras with the offshore fishing, and it was good mixed species meat fishing, meaning 15 to 20 dolphin, which they are. They're the fish dolphin, not the mammal. Mostly smaller size, what we call bailers, 3 to 8 pounds. 15 yellowfin tuna. And most of us had a single wahoo or maybe two. So you do 15 dolphin, 15 yellowfin tuna, a wahoo, and maybe a sailfish or two, or a blue marlin. That's a good day of fishing. And the guys in Hatteras, my old friends down there where I started my North Carolina career, are some of the best in the business. Really nice people. And it's really a laid-back place to go. So give that a try. And here's some other things. Their inshore fishing has been good as well for the boat fishing around the inlet, close to the beach. And even in the Sound, they're catching a lot of blues and Spanish. You're going to hear the Spanish word brought up all through today's report. Lots of Spanish mackerel, bluefish too, but they're also taking their people clamming. And I'm going to tell you something. You put your kids out on a sand shoal and let them dig clams, you're making memories for a lifetime. So think about that. Offshore Oregon Inlet now, as we jump up the coast a little bit and come around onto the north side of Cape Hatteras, the sailfish bite is still good, but it was, instead of 8, 10, 12, or 15 sailfish to the high boats, it was 2, 3, or 4, unless I miss some, and I usually do miss some, but it's still a good sailfish bite and a scattered blue marlin in there. And their meat catches were centered around mahi, which they call them the politically correct name mahi, which if you see that on a restaurant marquee, you know that that is really the dolphin fish. Don't worry, it's not the dolphin mammal. But then they're doing the Plan B fishing, stopping on the way in and catching a nice mess of tilefish. And when people do that and they try those, that's one of the better eating fish that we catch off our coast. And they have their inshore boats have a little something nearshore, inshore boats to offer too. I haven't had a chance to research it, but they're offering oyster tours. I don't think I've ever brought up oyster tours, but I've done plenty of oystering on my own, and it is a lot of fun when you go out and rake up your own oysters. And ours are really good, really salty. They also are catching a lot of triggerfish. They're catching, and that would be primarily on bottom rigs, look downs, bluefish, and the aforementioned Spanish mackerel in good numbers. So while we're on the subject of Spanish, let's drop over to our surf report and our pier report and put our feet on terra firma. So in Buxton, it has been the epicenter for some really good Spanish mackerel fishing. Now, and just north of Buxton as well, but it's been called different things. Some call it epic, and I don't use that word very often on my fishing reports. Epic fishing, the best bite is the sunrise bite. So get out of bed and go to your local tackle shop the day before, get some of the metal lures that are red hot, and people are leaving them biting. They're catching their limit and going home. And that really does carry up to our northern beaches as well. all the way up to the Virginia line. Spanish mackerel, some people are saying some of the charter guides are saying it's the best Spanish mackerel season we've ever had. But in addition to that, now that's a surface lure or a metal lure. It's not necessarily right on the surface, but it's cast and retrieve fishing. But on bottom rigs, especially with shrimp, pompano are biting pretty good, and there's a few puppy drum up on the northern beaches and bluefish pretty much everywhere, here or there. So you can catch them, and you're going to stumble across a sea mullet. If the further north you go, the better the sea mullet and spot and croaker, in other words, traditional bottom bite is. So keep all that in mind. All right, we'll take a little break right here, and then we're going to come back and talk about the very much improved fishing in the backcountry.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
So now they're in my backyard. Whether you're in Hyde County or over around Oregon Inlet, the drum are in transit, and it's been a good bite back of Oregon Inlet. I saw some folks with yearlings and puppy drum right just about under the bridge. And then there's some bigger fish, and I saw one that was 53 inches. That's a whopper of a fish, and that was with Captain Jed Dixon. So that's a big drum. Of course, those are all let go, but there has been, the drum bite is really improved over on our side. We've talked about the other side of the sound from Swan Quarter right on down to New Bern, just about down to the mouth of the Neuse River, and they are still catching some too. So it seems like this is about the best the drum bite has been all year so far. So anyway, there's also a few keeper trout caught in those catches, and then we got a couple other things on the backcountry report. The Little Bridge is the smaller of the two bridges. It's the Melvin Daniels Bridge on the Manteo Nags Head Causeway, and that's a really good spot, especially for fishermen that have kids. Put a life jacket on them in case they decide they want to climb on the seawall, but really calm, protected, and they were catching a few trout, a few blues, and they had a nice mix of spots and croakers. And that's crowd pleasing. They'll love that. That's just like going out on the pier almost. And then speaking of piers, the Bonner Bridge Pier, which is the old Bonner Bridge across Oregon Inlet that the state had the foresight to leave open as a fishing pier, a good sheephead bite there. And then the Bass Knife Bridge, of course, there's no catwalk on the Bass Knife Bridge. That's the new big bridge across Oregon Inlet. There was a good bite around and under that bridge for both sheephead and a few drum. So all in all, from beginning to end, today's report's one of the best I've done in a long while. And what I would recommend to you out of this report not to forget is that the early morning bite right now, if you're fishing backcountry or on the beach or on a pier, that's the bite. That daylight bite is the one you have. If you miss that, then try the sunset. But I'm talking about right till it gets dark. That's when these fish are feeding, and there's plenty of free advice, which you won't find in the big box stores. All of our local tackle shops will help you get squared away. We have some really good ones up and down the Outer Banks. You might stop in and see the folks at Red Drum. Kara and Bobby have been my sponsor for years, and Red Drum is right in Buxton, which I called earlier the epicenter of this Spanish mackerel bite. So get them to rig you up and then get out onto the beach. Spanish mackerel, really good to eat too. So that's about it. I do hope you get a chance to do some fishing. If you can't do it on your own, check out our guides. Check out our charter boats. We have the Miss Oregon Inlet. There's a head boat, which is that's like a floating fishing pier. And it's a great place to take the kids out for a 3 or 4 hour trip in calm water and let them learn how to fish. It's a floating fishing pier. Captain Ben and his crew do a great job, and you'll enjoy the experience. So go out wherever you go fishing, have a great day, and let the good Lord bless you richly.